Hi, my name is ColdBeer, and let's start with Divinity Original Sin 2.
You can become some really interesting custom-made hero, or choose from 6 unique origin characters with their own backgrounds and agendas. For example, you can become a flesh-eating elf. You may think, what, is that the lame feature that regenerates health like ghouls have in every game? No, it's way cooler. Once I found a dead body, and there was an option to, eat its leg. I was like, why not? And I ate it. And suddenly I saw who killed the guy, because this feature of mine worked in this mysterious way, and I completely forgot that I have it. I just ate the leg because I can. So the game gives you freedom that is sometimes a bit absurd. That is awesome. Anyway, here you will explore the vast and layered world alone or in a party of up to 4 friends in a cooperative play. You can even play on split screen with your mother-in-law. Go anywhere, unleash your imagination and explore almost endless ways to interact with the world. And there's more to experience in PvP and Game Master modes. In the latter, you'll create your own stories or download fan-made campaigns from Steam Workshop. Game has an overwhelmingly positive review score. A must-play, that's a fact. A story about my uncle. This is a first-person platforming adventure game about a boy who searches for his lost uncle and ends up in the world he couldn't imagine existed. So I guess your uncle is actually cool here, and not the type which sits you on his lap and touches your leg softly. He said to you that you should be happy because he works as a Santa in the mall, but your mother always said that he is a janitor in school. Wonder why? So you have your doubts about Uncle Steve. Fair doubts indeed. So nothing like that in this game. Here you'll use your uncle's mysterious inventions that let you jump incredibly high, uncover clues to your uncle's whereabouts, and meet fantastical creatures that will help you on your journey. Also, you may get motion sick and vomit on your keyboard. Just look at this up and down movement. That is enough to sicken an astronaut. Well, probably not, but 10 minutes of playtime was enough for me to start feeling sick. Although I should say that I succumb to motion sickness quite easily. You may feel nothing. Anyway, if that is not a problem for you, keep in mind that above 90% of reviews on Steam are positive, so this is definitely a good game. This game is basically a lighter and simplified version of Elder Scrolls. No rotten dead bodies, no creepy experiments, no sex scenes, and somehow a lot of male characters look a bit feminine? Don't let that discourage you. For example, I really enjoyed Avowed, and let me tell you why. The exploration part was really rewarding, and that is one of the main things that makes any open world game enjoyable. If you make an open world with nothing in it, just for the sake of it being open, it will feel empty and dull, but Avowed is not like that. Going away off a beaten path always feels like an adventure, often a deadly one. Another thing I liked very much, and I think it's the main selling point of the game, it's the fights, especially boss battles. They are as dynamic as they can get, and some are hard enough to make you reload a few times, especially if you rush and arrive underleveled. Which will you do, because while collecting some flowers for an NPC, you will find some entrance into the cave and you will be like,
oh, what is that? I must check that out.
And after half an hour you will find yourself fighting a giant jumpy spider boss. The biggest flaw of the game in my opinion are the cities. They feel dead and empty. Like in every Elder Scrolls game, the towns and cities are the place you want to be, to chat and barter with NPCs, and in Avowed, you just want to get out to the wilds and slay. Death Noodle Delivery. Guys, this is as indie as it can get, starting from the narrative crazy setting where you play as a courier for a death noodle delivery company and ending with the price tag. You can see, it will not bankrupt you. Anyway, the city is filled with dangers and your main job is not just to deliver a pack of noodles, but also it would be nice not to die. And that won't be easy. You will upgrade your old hoverboard from a rusty ironing board to an actual killing machine, unlock new power-ups, manipulate time, and launch explosive cats. Yeah, that is your meowpon of choice. You will also talk to your neighbors, listen to their dirty stories, and browse the web for hacks and pleasure. Also, you will find a terrible secret if you survive long enough. And it's you, so you probably never know. Transistor. It's made by the same company who made the critically acclaimed games like Bastion and Hades, so the graphic style and gameplay may look familiar to many of you. Transistor is a sci-fi themed action RPG that invites you to wield an extraordinary weapon of unknown origin as you fight through the stunning futuristic city. The weapon is obviously very heavy, or maybe you are just weak. Maybe your mama never gave you potato salad when you were little. What a shame. Anyway, Transistor may not be what you expect it to be if you played Hades. It's not a hack and slash game after all. The combat style reminds me, I don't know, know, Knights of the Old Republic probably, where you schedule the sequence of moves and then unpause the game to watch the unfolding action. So be sure you like that, but in general it has more than 90% of positive reviews and this price is really nice. Godsworn. This is a fantasy RTS where you will take control of a divine hero, gather worshippers, rally great armies of mortals and mythical creatures, and crush your enemies to prove you are worthy to lead these lands, protect your followers, and burn your enemies with the light of the sun as the goddess Saule, or strike under the cover of darkness as the moon god Menace. By reading that, for me it is obvious that these gods are from Baltic mythology, which is shared between Lithuanians and Latvians. And I like that not only because I am Baltic myself, but because finally someone grew balls big enough and decided not to go with mainstream Greek or Egyptian or famous Estonian mythology, but rather took an original turn. Baltic mythology is super rich with incredible gods and creatures never seen anywhere else. The game looks and plays very nice, really has the vibes of modern Warcraft, except here you will be playing for and against pagan tribes and their overarching masters. Heroes of science and fiction. This Heroes of Might and Magic clone hits right at home. With around 90% positive reviews on Steam, it is well liked by fans of the legendary franchise. I played it myself and I can say without a doubt that this game is really well made. Not because of the graphics and overall gameplay, which is kinda cool, but the main thing that gave me joy, equally good as spoon of potato salad, was that they left the main mechanics of Heroes of Might and Magic untouched. Instead of inventing the bike over and over again like Songs of Conquest did, they just left the best parts of the game how it is. You know, here we have the exploration part, the combat part, and the town screens part as well. The biggest downside so far is optimization. If you play custom maps with many players, the turns may take forever, even if you own a great rig, but in general everything is awesome and you have my beer jar of approval. Netherworld Covenant. Looks like Diablo but plays like Dark Souls Hades. Oh, yes, it's Netherworld Covenant. Here you'll control the survivor of a catastrophic disaster, wielding the Nether Lantern, a forbidden artifact that does something nobody actually cares about. You will hack and you will slash. That is cool and all you need to actually know. So here you'll venture into procedurally generated labyrinths to challenge corrupted heroes and demonic lords. To slay them you will have to choose your hero from several playable classes. You know, like Berserker, Mage, Hunter, Shield God and Useless Person. Seriously, that is an option. You can be useless in the game as well. That is a joke. You are awesome, my friend. Now subscribe. People are saying that the game is super hard, so play it only if you hate yourself enough and are ready to die many times pathetically before you achieve any progress at all. Great game. Cast and chill. Here you will travel to cozy little locations, throw your fishing rod into lakes, rivers and seas, catch various fish and slowly upgrade your equipment. That's basically it. The whole game has this super chill pixel art style and relaxing atmosphere where you can peacefully waste hours of your life hunting for rare aquatic animals and improving yourself as a human being. Because this game is many times healthier than social media you're addicted to anyway. Here you will find different biomes, weather conditions and plenty of fish species to discover. So if you are the type of a person who enjoyed fishing in other games more than actual main story, this game was made specifically for you. This is a perfect title when your brain is tired, your soul is damaged, your virginity is on the peak and you just want to vibe near water while tiny digital creatures unknowingly swim toward their own execution. Cozy. The Precinct. This looks like an old-school GTA game, but it's entirely the opposite. Here you'll become a policeman and will have to catch all the criminals that misbehave in your city. The action is set in the past. The year is 1983, and the technologies are accordingly old. That is cool, I like when they go full on the details. So here you'll dive into a world of thrilling car chases, sandbox crimes and a healthy dose of noir as you protect the city and solve the mystery of your father's murder in the line of duty. Developers say that this is a love letter to a classic cop movies, you know, like Lethal Weapon for example. And just like in GTA games, the Precinct combines police sim with sandbox experience. Patrol the streets and respond to callouts to fight criminals. It doesn't matter petty or powerful. Choose your own tactics in chases and shootouts and feel the shifting power struggles of town gangs. I don't know, this may be a gem you were looking for, or at least a nice polished rock. MechWarrior 5. Welcome to the year 3015. It's a hell of a time to be alive. Humanity has colonized thousands of star systems, spanning a vast region of space known as the Inner Sphere. The golden age of cooperation and advancement is now a distant memory, and humanity has once again splintered into factions, all vying for supremacy. The battlefields of the future are dominated by battle mechs, hulking machines of war capable of destroying entire cities. As a battle mech pilot, you'll rain havoc upon enemy mechs, including tanks, ground vehicles, aircraft, and advanced defenses. I remember when I played MechWarrior 3 more than 20 years ago, I was gobsmacked. These graphics looked like a movie to me. Yeah, these. You know, I was wondering back then if nowadays graphics are such realistic ones, what will the future bring? Will graphics of the games become better than the real world? It is actually a good question that is still haunting me. I don't believe it's possible, but is it really?
Dystopika. A massive treat for every Blade Runner fan, although they don't even mention the movies in the description because of obvious copyright issues. Despite that, the game lets you build futuristic cities very similar to those we saw in the movies. Here you'll place buildings, giant billboards, and massive holograms. You won't find any goals, there are no objectives, no wins or losses. The game wants you to relax and embrace your creative cyberpunk mood. People on Steam are very happy with this game. They not only awarded this gem with an overwhelmingly positive reviews, but they are saying that this is a game you just can't stop playing. One more building, one more tweak, one more hologram, and one more once again, just to make your amazing city a bit better. And yeah, why not make a masterpiece? Then take a screenshot, print it, frame it, and hang it on your wall. That would be a perfect modern piece of art that no one else has.
Hard Reset Redux. This is an action-packed and hardcore single-player shooter which embraces the best qualities that the genre has to offer. It includes loads of enemies, great weapon variety, a challenging campaign, and a beautifully realized cyberpunk setting. You know, this game is quite cool. If you like shooters, you will probably like this game as well. It's as simple as that. People in comments are saying that the first levels are a bit boring for an experienced gamer, but later it's game on and it's really worth your money. And just look at that price. Any argument against obtaining this gem is invalid. And it has very positive reviews as well. Monstrum. This game was one of the most entertaining things I ever played. It is a really scary experience, but also really fun. You will have to escape the ship of horrors by doing some tasks, like finding parts for the helicopter or building a raft. And these parts are all over this massive ship, so you will have to travel huge distances in order to collect them all. Fun part is that you are not alone. Somewhere in this ship lurks a terrible monster, so you get the point. This game is best enjoyed with friends, but I don't have co-op mode or anything like that in mind. Monstrum is a single-player experience. Just take turns trying to escape the ship. I guarantee that this game may become the pinnacle of your evening with buddies. Honestly, I never laughed so much playing horror games with my friends.
X4 Foundations. This is a space sandbox game where thousands of ships and stations trade, mine, and produce. In this universe, you can grow from being the lone pilot of a fighter ship to managing a vast empire, commanding your fleets, and designing colossal space stations. The game is single player, so all this goodness is entirely your adventure. You'll encounter first-person action, boarding ships and visiting their bridges, and will have to put your filthy fingers on expansive strategy and management simulation. Here you will choose your own path at your own pace. You can start your journey from a number of different beginnings, and as a number of different characters, each with their own role, set of relationships, and different ships and technologies. No matter how you start, you are always free to develop in any other direction, although people are complaining about unskippable dialogues and bad controls. Ghostlore. I'm not a very huge fan of pixel graphics action RPG games, but the last time I ignored this game, I got several comments about it. People were praising the game, and I promised to include it into my next video about action RPG games, which is now. So here you'll fight supernatural monsters from Southeast Asian folklore. As developers say, it is inspired by timeless classic action RPGs such as Diablo 2 and Titan Quest. Ghostlore features detailed item and character customization systems, procedurally generated maps, and 90s retro graphics. So here you'll have to slay over 40 different kinds of enemies, each with their skills and tactics. Also, Ghostlore allows you to mix and match abilities from 3 out of 6 character classes to create your own unique hero. People are saying that the game is like classic Diablo but Asian, and that is cool, something really refreshing. Deadlink. This is a cyberpunk first-person shooter with roguelite elements. You are an elite operative recruited for the experimental Deadlink project. So here you'll pilot an autonomous combat shell and fight your way through cramped slums, twisted labs and grimy warehouses to topple the most powerful corporations. You'll find a deadly and diverse arsenal of weapons, upgrade your skills and tech, devastate destructible environments and bankrupt the evil corporations. By killing all their employees, I guess. Yeah, you can't make millions of dirty money if everyone who works for you is dead. The logic is unbeatable, unlike your enemies. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that you will play this game just because of the story, the plot and love-hate relations between simple folk and the evil rich. That small part of never-ending carnage is just a nice addition, not important.
ULTRAKILL.
Now we are getting serious. This game is always among the top 20 best rated games on the whole Steam, and that is among tens of thousands of games. It's ridiculous how good this game is.
ULTRAKILL
is a fast-paced, ultra-violent, old-school first-person shooter. It fuses together classic shooters like Quake and modern shooters like Doom Eternal with character action games like Devil May Cry. Here mankind has gone extinct and the only beings left on Earth are machines fueled by blood. And now that blood is starting to run out on the surface and machines are racing to the depths of hell to search for more. Total nonsense, but I like it. People on Steam describe this game quite politely. They say this is a Doom Eternal if it was on crack and also on heroin. And I would add that playing
ULTRAKILL
it's like eating potato salad, except if you dry it out and snort it. You can try the demo version on Steam if you have any doubts. Tacoma. This is a sci-fi narrative adventure set aboard a high-tech space station in the year of 2088. You will explore every detail of how the station's crew lived and worked. You will have to find the clues and unravel the gripping story of trust, fear and resolve in the face of disaster. At the heart of the space station is the facility's digital surveillance system. It has captured 3D recordings of pivotal moments of the crew's life on the station. To be honest, that is a bit creepy to intervene in someone's life like that. Some Big Brother experience, I'd say. So as you explore, the story starts to unfold. You'll use your ability to rewind, fast forward and move through the physical space of these complex scenes. Examine events from every angle, reconstructing the multi-layered narrative as you explore. People on Steam are saying that the game is really interesting and the story is amazing. A very positive review score confirms that with ease. Lisa. Title is very well rated on various platforms. For example, on Steam it has above 90% of positive reviews, and that should lock your attention in. Also, I must stress that the game is for adults and it was hard for me just to show it for you without being demonetized. Anyway, this, as developers say, is a hilarious RPG of your wildest nightmares. Here you will undertake a relentless journey through a post-apocalyptic wasteland. Beneath its charming exterior is a world full of disgust and moral desolation, where you will learn what kind of person you truly are. You know, by being forced to make choices that permanently affect the gameplay. You will make sacrifices to keep your party members alive, whether it's taking a beating for them, losing limbs or some other inhuman things. In this world you will learn that being selfish and heartless is the only way to survive. You know, just like in real life. Don't act like you are a saint. Some people are saying that it is hard to get into the game right away, so there are a fair amount of players who love the game only from second or even a third try. So don't give up. The Quarry. I would say that this is a usual slasher movie, except this time it's a game, where all the stupid decisions of the protagonist are made by you. So here you'll be in charge of a band of teenagers who decided to go to a distant quarry and celebrate, you know, something. And things quickly took a turn for the worse. Hunted by blood-drenched locals and something far more sinister, your plans unravel into an unpredictable night of horror. Friendly banter and flirtations give way to life or death decisions, as relationships build or break under the strain of unimaginable choices, made by you, by the way. You will play as each of 9 characters in a thrilling cinematic tale, where every decision shapes your unique story from a tangled web of possibilities. Any character can be the star of the show or die before daylight comes, and it's all your fault. Honestly, this game is better played in the company of friends, or you know, with your loving mother-in-law, so you could laugh and be scared together. People on Steam are praising the game's replayability but bashing its short story. Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.
The year is 2029. Mechanically augmented humans have now been deemed outcasts, living a life of complete and total segregation from the rest of society. So you, being one of those banished humans, you are forced to operate in a world that has grown to despise your kind. Armed with a new arsenal of state-of-the-art weapons and augmentations, you must choose the right approach, along with who to trust in order to unravel the vast worldwide conspiracy. And you know what this conspiracy is? Someone decided not only to put pineapple in the potato salad, but to replace potatoes themselves with it.
Blasphemy!
Yeah, of course I'm kidding. Deus Ex Mankind Divided is not a horror game. You will not experience such horrendous actions here. People on Steam are saying that this is a nice game with a nice story and extremely satisfying combat, but won't work if your internet is down. Yeah, it's one of those single-player games that need the internet to work. Not cool. The Red Strings Club. This is an indie cyberpunk narrative game about fate and happiness. Here you'll spend a significant amount of time bartending and impersonating people on the phone to take down a corporate conspiracy. Here one mighty altruistic corporation is on the verge of releasing a system that will eliminate depression, anger and fear from society. However, not everyone is happy about it. You think that all these actions are just mere brainwashing, and if you want to have depression and be angry about it, nobody will take it away from you. So here you will uncover a mysterious corporate program that promises a blissful existence while debating what happiness means and where are the limits of tampering with it. People on Steam are saying that this game makes you think about things. If you are not used to thinking, it may hurt a bit, but you will be alright, I promise. The game also has beautiful retro graphics and engaging characters, although some mechanics are weird and unusual. The game will take about 4 hours out of your boring life, and for this price, it's quite okay, I guess. Shadowrun Returns. Magic has returned to the world, awakening powerful creatures of myth and legend. Technology here merges with flesh and consciousness. Elves, trolls, orcs and dwarves walk among us, while ruthless corporations bleed the world dry. Here you are a Shadowrunner, a mercenary living on the fringes of society in the shadows of massive corporate arcologies, surviving day by day on skill and instinct alone. When the powerful or the desperate need a job done, you get it done, by any means necessary. Or, you know, fail miserably and try again. People on Steam are saying that this is a solid strategy RPG that scratches the itch for games like Baldur's Gate or Divinity Original Sin. Also great for Fallout and Wasteland fans. Shadowrun Returns has around 90% of positive reviews, so if you like games like that, it's a real no-brainer for this price. Tavern Master. This is a medieval tavern management game where you are in charge of building, maintaining and running your very own cozy tavern. Buy tables and benches, fill barrels with drinks, hire staff and serve your first customers. You will have to make sure your employees are happy, there are enough drinks and seats for guests, and soon you will be able to expand your business in various ways. For example, you can hire musicians to attract more people to your tavern and make customers have more patience while waiting for a drink. Honestly, I never thought about that. Basically, if you want to get your drinks faster, avoid live music. Anyway, here you can also hold special events to attract special customers who have very specific food and drink requirements. They will come in the morning and stay all day, and they could stay all night as well if you create rooms with beds in your tavern. Every room will be rated with stars from 1 to 5, which will determine how much money you can earn from the guests. So my advice is to keep them cockroaches free and with complimentary potato salad snacks.
And now thank you for watching, have a nice day and subscribe. Bye.